Bank of Canada just announced this year's 7th interest rate raise. Is this going to be the last straw that breaks the camel's back? Hi, my name is Pris Han. I'm your real estate broker in the GTA area. Today, let's take a look at the newly available Toronto Real Estate Board November Market Watch report. We'll look at two graphs. The one on the left is November's market performance, and the one on the right is 1 more month ahead in October. So when we compare the left to the right, we see markets month-over-month change. Together, we study 5 parameters. Under each one of them, we see a wide percentage. So that is the year-over-year change. When we first look at the average sold price across the whole GTA for all property types, you will realize the sold price is 10,000 down from last month's 1.089 million. Now it's only 1.07 million. It's 10,000 drop. However, this ends the continuous 3 months increase starting from August. And 1.079, this is going back to the August average sold price. Together with the price drop, we can see there's a very low transaction volume. The market is very inactive. In the whole November, the whole GTA only sold 4,500 properties. And this is almost the historical low for a very, very long time. Not only it's only half of last year's transaction volume in November, it continued to decline from last month's close to 5,000 properties sold. Together with the low transaction volume, the seller is also viewing this market as unfriendly to them. So many of the sellers, they're holding their inventory back. The new listing dropped 12% from same period last year. We only have less than 9,000 new listings coming to the market. And this is a further decline from last month's over 10,000 new listings as well. But because the transaction volume is low, the active listings accumulated in the market is actually quite a large number. It's close to 12,000 properties, which doubled the same period last year. So basically, right now, the sellers and buyers, they cannot agree with each other. The buyers want to continue to wait in light of continuous interest rate raise. But the seller is thinking, if I cannot get the price I want, I would rather not sell. Overall, the market is really inactive. So when we think about in the future, if there's a further increased rates, is the market going to crash? It would only happen if one party start to change their current behavior. If the seller continuously to hold their property back, large number of decline also seems unlikely. The average days on market increased as well. We can see it increased from last month's 21 days to 22 days. So it takes in average 3 weeks for a property to be bought out by the market. Overall inventory remained the same, 2.6 months. It shows that the market still has lots of inventory. The buyer still can have lots of choices if they really want to get something from the market. Okay, so when we come back to look at the $10,000 decrease, where does this $10,000 come from? We will take a look at the various cities. But if we take a look at the Toronto first, we can see across all the different property types, no matter if it's detached, semi-detached, freehold townhouse, townhouse, and condo, they all had different level of decrease from last month. So how about other cities? Right now, we are looking at the average sold price in GTA area during the whole pandemic. The observation period starts from 1 month before lockdown, which is February 2020 till just now, November 2022. So during the pandemic, Bank of Canada launched the loose monetary policy. So a lot of buyers were encouraged to enter the market. So the property price was pushed up till the peak revealed early this year in February, March. But ever since that, Bank of Canada launched a series of actually until now 7 times interest rate raise. So property prices start to drop. Starting from the peak, for example, if we look at the blue line, which is the composite of the whole GTA area, the peak was at 1.334 million and came down to 1.079 in November. So this is a 19% decrease. If we look at the price from July, you can see pretty much the line remained flat. It actually slightly came back up starting from August, September, October. The market gradually came back 3,000, 5,000 per month. However, this increase stopped in November. So which city contributed to this whole GTA's decrease? So if we look at the city of Toronto, you can see actually in November, the decrease is quite obvious. We did came back from October's 1.09 million to 1.05. So that is almost 4% decrease. But not all cities reveal the same level decrease. Take an example for Markham. You can see that in September, Markham was at 1.21 million. So in October, it already had a very sharp increase back to 1.28 million. But in November, it continued its sharp increase. And now we are at 1.344 million. As a result, you can see that Markham and Richmond Hill, these two twin cities, showed different change. You can see Richmond Hill actually showed a similar decrease coming down from the peak, which is 20% decrease. But for Markham, because it bounced back the recent 2 months, the decrease from the peak is only 14%. Okay, so once again, if you're a buyer, don't just look at the composite number. Do take a closer look in the neighborhood that you are interested in. One more interesting data I really want to share with everyone. Now we are looking at the city of Toronto this time, only city of Toronto, but now we're comparing the price change for different property types. So I chose 3. The blue line is a detached house, and then freehold townhouse, and then the bottom line is a condo apartment. The price, once again, during the whole pandemic, it came up all the way up to early this year, then came down due to the interest rate raise. But the change, the percentage change is very different across different property type. For detached, for example, February 2020, it was only at 1.5 million, all the way up, went to over 2 million till this year's February. But it also came down very sharply. From the peak until now, for detached house, it dropped 25%. For townhouse, similar trend, but from the top, we only decreased 17%. Condo, on the other hand, remained pretty much flat, only 12% from the peak, which is 832,000. This is mainly because during the pandemic, a lot of other property types really took advantage of the low interest rate, but because city of Toronto, a lot of people, they left the city to go work and study outside. They no longer need to go back to office, and uni students, they were taking online courses at home. So the rental was really hit. Hence, same thing to the property price for condo apartment. So it didn't really gain much from the low interest rate. So of course, there's nothing for them to lose from. So again, the whole orange line, the condo apartment, you can see it's very flat. It's just very stable. What is the whole change if we compare to the beginning or to before pandemic? So we can see for detached, although it lost 25%, but comparing with February 2020, we still had a 5% increase. So all this decrease, it didn't wipe out all this many years increase, because after all, it was a quite long period of tunnel to climbing up. And for townhouse, the increase is actually higher, it's 15%. For condo, once again, because it wasn't taking too much advantage from the loose monetary policy, we only had 1.6% increase. What I really want to point out is that apart from the property price, sold price change, it's really noticeable that right now in downtown Toronto particularly, the rental price is really start rocketing high. A lot of buyers, they are holding the purchase plan back. So when they want to fulfill their accommodation needs, they just go to rent. So the competition among tenants are really fierce. So in downtown Toronto, we see the historical high rental. So if you do want to consider for your own self-residence, since the price is still quite stable, but the rental price is high, you can consider if purchase might be the right move. So this is the end of this video. If you have any recent purchase or sell plan, please feel welcome to talk to us. We can cater the strategy just for you. Looking forward to seeing you soon.